2024, and I'm
He
telling you,
did.
if you would have told me last year, if you'd have told me at the beginning of the year that all this stuff is happening the way it is, I would probably
Yeah.
wouldn't have believed it. You know what I'm saying? Because
I'm not even surprised, to be honest with you. I mean, after
I ain't
Bill
surprised it's
Cosby,
happening.
it's like, I mean, if you can bring down Cliff Huxtable, I mean, anybody's fair game at that point. You know, of
Point
all
taken.
people, Cliff Huxtable. I just did not want to believe that he was capable because he was just such an icon. And I'm like, if he can do some dirty, then I'm not surprised at anybody after that.
You know who else? And it wasn't this year. This is an old
Yeah.
story. But who else went out bad? Y'all might not even remember. The
Mhm.
father from Alf. Remember the show Alf?
The
Yeah.
father from
Oh
Alf.
yeah,
I
If
remember
you ever get a
Alf.
chance, just Google his story. The father from Alf. He went out bad, bro.
What did
Like,
he do?
Oh,
hey,
I don't even
it
remember that.
was all the bad stuff.
Oh
So
no.
Father from Alf.
yeah,
I love that
bro, he
show
ended up
too.
like a drug addict. I think it was some child porn charges in there. It was a lot that happened with this dude, bro.
Oh no.
Yeah, if you get the
Oh,
chance, look up
Wow.
the father from
yeah. His name is Max Wright. Okay.
Hmm.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I don't
You
remember
seeing it? You
it.
looking at it?
I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow.
My
Yeah,
gosh.
he died. He died about 5 years ago, but
Hmm.
Yeah, but his
like he was
story
in
on
a
the way
lot of
out
stuff.
was crazy.
Mm.
jeez.
This is just.
Look,
Yo,
look at
Uh,
the father from Seventh Heaven. He was the
I
Yeah,
things
do
that he was
remember that.
accused of.
I remember that too.
yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that
That
too.
That was
was,
awful too.
you on TV playing a pastor.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
hmm
Oh
jeez.
goodness.
Well, you know what?
Uh,
Or
You
Jared the
never
Subway
know
guy. Did anybody watch that documentary?
yeah, I remember that
Yep.
too.
You
what's
know
up with
Uh-huh.
what?
him.
That documentary made me
Jared.
Yeah,
Yep.
Jared
Jared.
Subway guy.
Yeah,
I
Yep.
honestly, after watching that documentary, it made me it literally it made me physically ill to hear. I wanted to kill that guy. I'm like,
Mm.
yeah,
somebody go to federal prison and kill that guy because
Hmm.
Yeah.
he's just a monster, a
Yeah.
yeah.
monster.
He was
And the
when
things
he
that he
was
was
sleeping with
describing out of his own
kids.
mouth of what
Hmm.
he was doing to those kids, it just made me
Hmm.
sick.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sick. Like
It,
No,
how
that's why.
how how in
Mhm.
the world can you? Ugh,
hmm
ugh.
But some of these folks, man, they get into a place of power or prominence, and all them them demons that all comes out. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially if they feel like there's no consequences for their actions. You know what
That's
I
the
mean?
problem.
They
That
get
part. They
yeah,
think they're untouchable. I got all this money. I can make
yep,
things go away. Like,
yep.
no, someone is going to get you. Someone is going to get you and take you down.
It all comes
yeah.
out
It's going to
eventually.
come
It
out.
does.
Yeah.
Well, and
Mhm.
they had
Mm,
access. That's the thing. When people start getting
mm,
access to
That
people, you know what I'm saying? They start
yeah.
getting the access. It's like kind of like, yo, I can make people. So if you look at this Abercrombie and Fitch guy, what's interesting to me is like the whole. I would consider him like a gatekeeper because if he's like the whole CEO of the whole company,
Hmm.
he gets to decide if you like a male model and you trying to do this thing with that company, he
Yeah.
decide whether it's yay or nay. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He's like, yo, you got to come to this party and you know pop these pills and come hang out and all this stuff.
Mm,
It's kind of like either you gonna do it or you ain't gonna do it. Now, I
yep.
mean, we all know in all the industries, modeling, music, acting, it's a lot of that type of stuff going on. But
All the
usually,
time.
from my opinion, I used to think it was like the gatekeepers were like middle people between the actual people. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like in
yeah,
music, it would be like the lower A&R guy maybe or A&R
yeah.
woman who would
Yeah.
kind of
The
try to
security who's you want to see the artist, you got to talk to me first.
or
That kind of
exactly
Yep.
that
yeah.
type of
No,
vibe.
Yep.
it's not that.
And
It's the guy at the
now
top.
it feels like it's a damn CEO of the whole damn thing
Yeah.
now. So you
Mm.
know, but this guy, he's definitely going to be going down because they all over him, and this is the
Yep.
season for it because as you see, that's what's going on with all of them. So
They're gonna want they're out for blood at this point.
Hmm.
The government's out for blood, so they're gonna be like anybody that comes forward and makes a complaint about somebody big, they're gonna
yeah,
take it seriously and they're
Yeah.
gonna investigate and they're gonna go hard. because at this point they're like, we're taking all these giants down.
Yeah.
I wonder what changed though. I mean, I feel like maybe nothing has changed, but I feel like something has changed over like the last year or two, maybe, or is it just regular?
I know. I feel like something's changed. I think people
Something
with the
happened.
with the Me Too movement, I think that people are taking a lot of these complaints a lot more seriously, and the fact that a lot of stuff that was kept behind closed doors is starting to come to light because there's a lot of promises that weren't kept. You know, because here's the
Right.
thing: when it starts off promising people money and positions and all of this stuff, and then it kind of evolves into more like force and extortion and damn near kidnapping. At some point people are going to start to fight back because it's like, well, I didn't get what I was promised. I didn't get the money that I said I was going to get. I didn't get these positions that I thought I was going to get, so now I'm going to tell I have nothing to lose. So
Yeah.
But the question is like, are the people like deciding they're gonna go so far with certain things? Like, yo, come oil me down, give me a massage, and let me do this to you and do all that, and then I'll give you X, Y, Z. Like, to me, it's a hell no from the very beginning.
right,
Like,
right, right.
you know,
That's
you
why
know what I'm saying?
I be like, there has to be some kind of accountability. I'm not victim blaming at all.
No,
I'm talking about people who participate in this stuff
right.
and then years later say, hey, well, you had a choice, and at some point you chose to participate in this situation. Now, everybody don't get a choice. Hit me, I mean, so I'm not saying that that's everybody, but there are people who like
Well,
you kind
absolutely.
of
I think we have to be. I
you
think we
wanted
have to
that
be
you
realistic.
wanted that the benefits of what was going to come, and you accepted what you had to do to get there.
Right.
Yeah,
So
because you saying like,
Yeah.
because just to that point, like twin, you saying like, okay, I didn't get what I was promised. So the question is, if they got what they was promised, would you have
would they
hurt
have
them?
talked?
I think there's a lot of people who have not come forward,
I agree.
who did whatever they had to do to get wherever they thought they needed to get, and once they got to wherever they felt they wanted to arrive, they haven't said anything. Because the people that's talking are not the only quote unquote victims. They're not the only ones
Sure.
who laid on the casting couch, so to speak, to get where they needed to go in their career. There are lots of people out there, and I'm not victim blaming either, but let's be real. There's a lot of people who really, really wanted to get to the top of whatever career they wanted to get to, and that were willing to do whatever it took
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
there. So we do need to separate the victims from the willing participants. And some of those people, they do fit in both categories. Some people
True.
were willing
Right.
participants until they weren't. And at that
Right.
point, they were
Right.
victimized because they felt like their backs were against the wall. They weren't, there's nothing they
Right.
could do. But I mean, accountability needs to go where accountability needs to go.
But
You
that's the
know,
whole point, though. So when you
You know
have
what else pissed me off? Um, and this is more so to go back to the kind of the Diddy thing and the recent allegation with like the 13-year-old girl and the way they worded that whole presentation of that, like um, he I guess took her to I guess a VMA party and they allegedly he raped the 13-year-old along with another male and female celebrity. But it's like if it's why wouldn't you tell me who that male and female celebrity is? Why are you just saying this person's name if they are accusing all three of them?
Now,
correct.
Why are we?
I didn't even hear about that
No, that
one.
Yeah.
it went. So
That's
yeah,
out
that
now.
came out
Yeah.
That's a new one.
earlier this
New
week. But
one.
it's like,
Yeah.
why are
Okay,
you?
so sorry. So the story is that we're talking about Diddy.
Yeah,
Yes.
So
they said.
Diddy, he took a 13-year-old to.
An
Yeah,
after party
apparently it
at
was
his
some
after.
13-year-old girl. It was like a VMA party or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
they said that at the VMA party, the girl was raped by not only Diddy but another male and female celebrity. But my problem with that thing is, as messed up as that charge is, if they're accusing another male and female celebrity, those names should be right there
Yeah.
as prominent as Diddy's name in
I
that
agree.
accusation.
I
Yeah.
agree. You need to let
That
us
made
know.
no sense to me why you would be. I feel
Yeah.
like there's a protection still to certain people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Absolutely.
that's a problem for me.
Hmm.